Gays and Gizmos came up in my feed, and this not just Gays and Gizmos. Other shit comes up in my feed based on what you guys watch, because we're all connected somehow, and what other people around me watch. As crazy as that sounds, it's almost like, everything we do is watched anymore. But the Hearing Protection Act has been coming up a lot, and recently it was, first it was call your representatives. This is the time. We got the House, the Senate, and the President, and the Oval Office. Let's get the Hearing Protection Act passed. So they do that, and then it's the Hearing Protection Act is in the Ways and Means Committee. So they give you a list of people to call. And then it's, we got some RhINOs in the Ways and Means Committee. Call them. And let them know how you feel. And then they change it to where it's only a $5 tax for suppressors. But it's still on the NFA. The unconstitutional NFA. So you pay an unconstitutional tax for it to be on the unconstitutional NFA, so the unconstitutional ATF can unconstitutionally kick in your door. You know why that doesn't matter? Because they got the bigger stick. That's why it doesn't matter. But most people are going to think this is a win. That's how it's going to be sold. Today it's like, we didn't get everything we want. That really sucks. But hey, you got to pay $195 less. I mean, when you're buying a $1,200 or $1,400 can, who cares? $200 isn't that big of a deal. What's funny about the whole thing is, in all these countries that your government supports and sends all your money to, it's legal to have cans in all those countries. It's not legal to have the fire. Most of the firearms that are allowed to be made in this country. But it's legal to have a can, and you look like a dickhead if you don't have one. But it's the same old game. These couple of people are going to look like the bad people this time, Joe or Trump or whoever. Hey guys, Joe and Bob's going to be the bad guys this time. Here's the crumb we're going to throw out there. Joe and Bob's going to retire anyway, so it doesn't matter. They'll fill their seats. You guys will get voted in. They'll all think the votes matter, and things will move down the road peacefully. That's what it's really all about, is peace. They don't want. I don't believe that government. I mean, maybe they do. Maybe they do think that their military, the ones that got their asses whooped by a bunch of dudes wearing sandals living in freaking caves for 2 decades. And yeah, I said it. That's what happened. Or else we wouldn't have been there for 2 decades. Oh, the rules of engagement, this. The upper commanders, that. Get the fuck out of here. When you have, here's the flaw in Afghanistan. This is the asterisk I'm going to put by what I just said. They had an unlimited amount of men willing to die for their cause, and that's the greatest weapon of all. Short, an atomic bomb. But 350 million people, or half that, 175 million people fighting for a cause would be, and half of those being in military would be something, pretty dramatic to face, I would think, even by the U.S. government. Not that I'm advocating for that, just, hypothesizing here. Is that the right word? Probably not the right word. Doesn't matter. But these fools are going to really have to believe that this is a win. And it's just, to realize, to actually see it happening and realize what's happening. And then you watch it happen again and again and again and again and again. I mean, I literally seen somebody that said, vote them out in the comments section. I'm like, didn't you vote them out last time? I thought who you voted in last time was supposed to fix the problem. Because if you voted out the people that fucked it up last time, that means you didn't vote these people out, and they're fucking it up this time. So you're going to vote them out, and the next time it's going to be, Bill and Ted fucking it up. And then you're going to vote Bill and Ted out. And then next time it's going to be, Sandy and She. Fucking, it's not. You can't win this battle through voting. You're not going to. You know, one of the first things that people do when they when they realize how corrupt and how manipulated and how it works as a whole, one of the first things they do is quit voting. Take your name off the registry to vote, because you got to register to vote, because that makes sense at all. I mean, I could maybe understand, you know, I wouldn't even understand that. I don't understand any lists whatsoever. And we're going to hear for the whole next, until I die, how it's just when, people. But when are you going to realize that you've been played? You've been played. I mean, the people that are up there that, the people that create the NFA, the people that they don't have the power to, the end outcome of the law is it being enforced on you and you paying a penalty for it. And the penalty for breaking every law is death. That's the penalty. If you decide not to comply, the penalty for every law, doesn't matter if it's a seatbelt ticket, jaywalking, or murdering somebody, is death. But the politicians really do nothing. They scribbles on paper and sign their name. Say it, scribbles on paper. Your police are the ones that make it happen. Well, no, it's the ATF. Yeah, that's why the ATF always recruit your local police to go do raids. But they only do it on bad people that harm other people. It's alcohol, tobacco, and firearms. They're not going after the dude because he robbed the bank down the street. He's going after the dude because he didn't pay a tax on the firearm he robbed the fucking bank with. Well, that's not a good example, because the FBI would be in that one. And they're mad you stole their money. Yes, it is their money. It's not your money. It's their money. They let you use it. Really, it's their friends' money. The private entity called the Federal Reserve. It's sad. It's a sad world we live in. Can't wait to meet God so I can tell him how pissed off I am at him for creating me in this time. I should have been a couple 100 years old by now. But anyway, here's what y'all need to do. I want to ask you to call some people. I am. I don't normally do that. I know I just bitched about, calling people. But I'm going to ask you to call people. Call your mom, call your sister, call your brother. Tell them what fucking idiots they are if they're still buying into the game and still voting. And that you're going to disown them if they vote anymore. Maybe that'll help something. Probably not, because of your mentality, the people that are going to watch this, your mindset. You're probably already been disowned by them, because that's what, those in the flock do. Anyway, have a good day.